how we do it.
Hey, I'm Renee, founder and CEO of Black First Lifestyle, your digital knowledge of self-center where Black history and edutainment collide. And this is After the Post. Welcome to episode 5, which is called What's in a Name? Today, we're talking about Black identity, and the inspiration is a post by Dr. Umar where he speaks on the reasons why we should stop calling ourselves people of color. He states that when we refer to ourselves as such, what we're doing is helping to extinguish our voice in the public conversation, and we're lumping ourselves together with Latinos, Arabs, Asians, and other groups of people that don't like us and could care less about us and our interests. As a Pan Africanist, I completely agree with his statements. I feel that the power of our skin, the blackness of our skin, is what connects us globally throughout the world. And that's our power. That's the glue that holds us together. Our culture, our language, our rhythm. That's it. And in us disassociating from that word and disassociating from our blackness, I feel like we give our power away. Calling ourselves people of color, calling ourselves minority, which the root word of minority is minor, right? It doesn't make sense. It's factually inaccurate because we're actually the global majority. As you may know, across the world in every country, there are the darker peoples, and they're usually ones who suffer the most, right? We know this. In my estimation, I believe that it is because we are the source. We are the source of the culture, the language, the food. Everything comes from us as Black people. And in Western society, we have been brainwashed. Media, the news, all of these things have brainwashed us globally to believe that we are not the ones when we are the ones, the big ones. There's so much importance in being specific with how we identify ourselves and with having that exclusivity and that safe space for Black people only, right? There's things that we go through and that we understand about each other that others that are outside of our group don't understand. And that's completely okay. It's not for them anyway, it's for us. It's safe to say that the disassociation that we tend to portray um, is in an attempt to assimilate, right? And fit in to Western culture and into Western society as a way to climb up the corporate ladder or the social ladder, right? In our minds, this is how we do it, by feeding into the anti Blackness that harms us. Now, if we do that as Black people, don't you think that people of color and minorities do the same thing? So that means that they're not for us, right? They don't want our best interests to come to pass. They want to push us down to pull themselves up. So I read an article in Forbes by Janice Gassam Asare called How Communities of Color Perpetuate Anti-Blackness. In the article, she states, let's read, shall we? There is a commonly held belief that white people are the only perpetuators of anti-Black racism, but the perceived benefits received by POC because of their proximity to whiteness can be a driving force that prompts POC to adopt anti-Black views slash beliefs. Let me give you some historical context. Back in 1930, there was a notorious dictator by the name of Rafael Trujillo. He was a dictator of the Dominican Republic for 30 years, from 1930 to 1961, when he was assassinated. That man did not like black people. Reports said that he feared the darkening of the Dominican people. Imagine that. He feared the darkening of his people so much so that he led and carried out a massacre of 20,000 Haitian people in 1937. It was called the Parsley Massacre. And yeah, that was a long time ago, right? It was in the past. Things is different now. It's 2024, right? Wrong. Because just about 10 years ago in 2015, the Dominican government was deporting Haitians because they wanted to cleanse their population. So, those are examples of anti Blackness on a systemic level, on a governmental level. So, let's zoom in to an individual level. Reality star, singer, TV host Amara La Negra got her claim to fame in the States by speaking out against the anti Blackness in the Latin community. As a cast member of Love and Hip Hop Miami, she spoke out against the unfair treatment and the lack of opportunities because of her race. She also popularized the term Afro Latina, which means you have a strong African heritage within your blood and you are Latina. Some Latinas that don't have that strong African heritage in their blood are still trying to claim that term. All right, let's move on to another group. We don't want everybody saying, oh, y'all always picking on the Dominicans, y'all always. We'll move on to another group to discuss the facts and the history. Okay, so let's see. Indian. About the same time, around 2015, actress Mindy Kaling's brother applied to medical school by faking as a black person. He shaved his hair off, right? So you don't see his straight Indian hair. He shaved his hair off, right? And this is in an article. This is on a CNN article. Let me put it up. He shaved his hair off and he trimmed his eyelashes, his long Indian eyelashes. That's what's in the quotes, so that he can appear to be black and get into medical school with affirmative action. So he literally took the spot of an actual black person to become a doctor. Get it? Get it? So those are just a couple examples of how anti-blackness shows itself in real time. Okay? These things are being perpetuated by people of color, people that claim to be similar to us, that claim to understand, that claim to get it, right? And this is what they do. So, in us identifying as people of color and minorities, we're putting ourselves together with groups of people that hate us. It doesn't make sense. Let's end it here. After you watch this, end it. All right, so we spoke about the problem. Let's talk solutions. Start off by claiming your blackness with a capital B. Why do y'all run away from that word so much? It's as if you think something's wrong with it. You are here, you're watching this to unlearn, 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 unlearn. Next up, prioritize your blackness. I seen all of y'all sending those memes with Issa Rae, where she's like, "Oh, I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm rooting for everybody black." But are you? Are you really rooting for everybody black? Because those little comments that you be making, those little colorism comments and those little texturism comments, it don't seem like it. It don't seem like it. Let's truly prioritize our blackness in a way that counts, in a way that matters. When you have opportunities, give it to somebody black. A black woman, a black man. Give it to somebody black. Support your community by pouring into your community without apology and without hesitation. I believe it's an obligation that you should be happy to contribute to. What's a way to contribute? Teach Black pride in your children and your family members. Yeah, so words are spells. So when you call yourself a minority, you're calling yourself minor. Now think about it. Are you minor or are you major? And last but definitely not least, we have no friends. Remember that. As Black people, we have no friends. Black first. Period. All right, that's it for episode 5. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you do join me again next time for episode 6. It's gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be a good one. I'll chat to you later. My name is Renee, founder and CEO, and I gotta go. Peace. Ooh, remember to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all the things, all the places. Follow us there, Black First Lifestyle, and get you some knowledge of self.